So much still going on in the sports betting space. So we brought in an expert to help us break it down. BetMGM's CMO Casey Hurbis. Thank you for joining SBJ here.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me here. I've been SBJ many a times, and it's always great to be in Chicago and at a great event. It's been going fantastic so far.
So you stepped into your new role in December.
Yeah.
How has that adjustment been going? You've gone now from autos to mortgages to sports betting. What's the adjustment been like?
Yeah, great question. I mean, 30 years in automotive and mortgages, you mentioned. Here's what's very similar. Pretty highly regulated businesses, right?
Yep.
Between automotive manufacturing, mortgage, and now online sports betting, casino. Highly regulated. But one of the things that's been most surprising is if you think about automotive and mortgages have been regulated for, 50, 7,500 years. This is still a 6-year-old
Yep.
regulated
forget
business.
about that.
It's like NIL, in which there's still
a little
lot
Wild
of
West field.
a lot of interpretation. There's still a lot of gray market operators, so on and so forth. So I would say that's very similar. And it's also with BetMGM, a little bit of a challenger brand in an ultra competitive marketplace, kind of like mortgages and automotive world. And much like the mortgage space, your competition is one click away at any given time. But then what's different? If you think about the purchase funnel of a car or a mortgage, you do it once every 5, 7, 10 years. And, in the online sports betting, iGaming world, the average player is, they're engaging with you multiple times a week, depending on the player. And so so that's probably the biggest difference is in the purchase funnel moves a lot faster, but it's very similar in terms of a really competitive space.
We're here in mid-June, about to put a bow on both the NBA and NHL seasons. We're in the thick of baseball. How has the spring been performing, particularly those playoffs?
Yeah, so we could start at the beginning of the year. We had a lot of momentum coming out of 24 into 25. The NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl, it did very well for us. I mean, obviously a lot of growth. I mean, listen, this industry is growing 15 to 20% in a given year. Super Bowl, to give you an example, in 24, we had 400 markets open. This year, we had 1,500 markets. I mean, the world of just, as you think about single game parlay, in-game parlays, the opportunities to place more and more bets. Listen, at the end of the day, too, the results on the field drive kind of like where those results. And so Super Bowl was very successful for us. March Madness, a little bit of challenge. NBA finals are shaping up fantastic. NHL finals, and now we start. We're right in the thick of the MLB, and so a lot of positive momentum coming out of 24 and 25, and we've had our best back-to-back quarters at BetMGM, and so a lot of optimism for the balance of the year.
Yeah, I know you talk about March Madness. That was tough on the whole industry, obviously. All of those favorites getting to the Final Four in particular. So, yeah, I think a lot of people took a beat.
Yeah, it's one of the most surprising things I've had is I watch sports totally different now. And that's
fair.
I'll give you the NFL playoffs for an example. I mean, the results on the field really drive, the mood and manner inside sports books. A great example is during the NFL playoffs. I mean, as I joined the company in December, the Detroit Lions were playing very, very well. I'm a super fan. All the money kept coming in on the Lions. And, as they went going through the playoffs, and they ultimately lost to the Commanders in the divisional playoffs going to the NFC Championship, I had mixed emotions. Like, as a super fan, I was devastated, but from a business standpoint, whew, it's interesting how it skews even my personal sports viewing habits. But get really excited about where the year has started, and we're wildly optimistic about the balance of 25.
How have women's sports been performing for BetMGM, and how are you leaning into women's sports just from a marketing perspective?
Yeah, I mean, listen, women's sports, there's growth across all categories, but like the online sportsbook world, WNBA, particularly WNBA, that has the highest growth of handle and across all the sports over the last couple of years with WNBA. And obviously, as you think about an NWSL and more professional sports coming about, we'll continue to open up marketplaces. And then from a partnership standpoint, we have over 35 team and league partnerships across the major sports. And we're excited. We finally did the right thing and we stepped into the space. We just made an announcement recently. We're an official marketing partner with the WNBA, and as well as the Las Vegas Aces out in Las Vegas. Right in our backyard of our partner with MGM Resorts. And, and then you think about how do you extend and amplify that in the world of podcasts. I mean, more and more podcasts, sports related, fandom that have women's focus, leaning into their ambassadors, in which it's exciting because it's the world is certainly growing. And, the right thing to do from a business standpoint as you think about audience growth is leaning more into women's sports, which is which is growing. We're going to be a partner alongside that.
Well, sports betting still a young business, young industry here in the United States that we're going to continue to pay attention to. Casey Hurbis, CMO of BetMGM. Appreciate you chatting with SBJ.
Thanks for having me.